when we last left our adventurers, we were in the Agimori village, where you were just getting introduced to everybody. Your liaison kind of fella is Maposa, a young Agimori who's helping you through the rituals. They don't expect you to know all the rituals. Earl, in Sartar, the normal hunter god is Orland's adventurers, because Orland's good as everybody. So Earl's family worship is kind of like the old god. Do you know what I mean? So Earl's quite familiar with the rituals, even though these do some of it different. So basically, he's been helping you. Andy, I don't believe you were here last time, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Right. So you've gone off to the Agimori village because they've got a powerful shaman. The fort and the surrounding lands is riddled by some kind of mysterious disease, and so they've come up to ask the shaman to come and help the fort. To do that, he said that to prove yourselves to the Agimori, you have to take part in the Agimori Great Hunt ritual, which is what young warriors go through to prove that they're equal to be in the tribe. So you've turned up at the village. You've met this guy called Maposa, who's a young warrior. He's already done his ritual though, so he's a full warrior, and he's been leading you through. He's basically took you off to your hut and explained some of the things that'll happen.
Gotcha.
So you've got the night time first. You've got the feasting, the ritual ceremony, and things like that. So is there anything you'd like to ask before it goes any further?
I want to try and find out what the most legendary badass animal in this area. You know, the one that the hunters all talk about.
Right. So Maposa, he says there down south in the Condor Crags area, he says there's a giant king condor that's been known to carry off warriors and large cattle, in fact, and he's often seen with his friend who's a dragon.
A what? Like
he
a
says,
dragon.
He says it's a big lizard, but with wings and claws, and it breathes fire.
Yeah, we don't do dragons.
He says it is the size of around 3 of these huts in length, and he gestures.
Alright, cool, baby dragon.
He says sometimes you can see the giant condor. He flies aloft with the dragon.
Huh.
Says even the mighty warriors of our tribe, we hide out under the trees when he comes, so he cannot see us.
Anything a bit lower down than that, you know, more groundy than flyy.
He says there are lots of different great earth shakers. He says there's the large ones that stand on 2 legs, with their little tiny arms in the front and their big heads full of sharp teeth the size of bananas.
Oh god. Well, we'll probably track one and use a glass of water.
But yeah, you have seen, because you've been up and down the river, there are actual earth shakers, what common folk would call dinosaurs, that live in the area of the river. You haven't seen any of the big meat eaters, but Maposa says they're definitely there.
What about below that? I think we might be aiming a bit high with Tyrannosaurus Rex and a dragon.
He said, you asked for the mightiest beasts. He said, I'm telling you the mightiest beasts.
That's very mighty.
Not quite that mighty. Mighty-ish.
He laughs and he goes, it's tradition that we do not drink the night before the ceremony. But he pulls a gourd out from under his bed and he goes, but this will put the hairs on your chest.
Yeah, I'll have a half.
some good things.
Yeah, these people are like extreme. I hate to think what their idea of a quick tipple is.
He says there are the giant frogs that can climb the walls and they can swallow a one of you little men up in one bite.
Are those the things we saw before?
It sounds like it.
I think we might have already killed them.
He says that is a great feat. Some of the big ones would be big enough for us to ride if we were a people that rode like the barbarians.
I know a griffin.
He says, a griffin, I have never seen a griffin. I have heard many tales of it. Like a great flying beast with the head of an eagle.
Yeah, that's a canny lad.
He says, I would very much like to see your griffin one day.
The next time I bump into him, I'll see if he'll pop across. I think we'll probably have to not shoot him.
So, does anybody else want to ask any questions, or?
Not really. I'm just excited to hunt some stuff.
Right, he says, okay. Well, then we'll have a snifter together, and then we'll turn in. We have to be up before the sun rises tomorrow for the feasting and the painting and the tattooing.
Yes. Yep, I'm up for this. I'm all in, Rich. All.
You
I'll even pop down to the sweat lodge for a bit of a sweat.
right? Okay.
I'll imbibe the herbs. I'm doing the whole thing.
You're doing the whole thing.
I am going all the way.
He says, right. Well, this is one of our rituals. He says you're not expected to kill anything by yourself. He says we'll hunt the great bull. We'll be given the special sticks with the bells on, and we either fight the bull ourselves, or we drive the bull to the rest of the warriors who will be waiting there. He says there are different, depending on how it is. You can aggravate it. You may be able to lead it, or it's whichever way you can get the bull to the pack of warriors. So other than that, basically, he has a bit of a snifter. Everybody has a drink, and then early to bed, early to rise.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Feck and Dag will spend a considerable amount of time out in the night. I need a big bull tomorrow. A really big bull.
He says, I look forward to this. He says it's very rare that we bring outsiders in. He says,
yeah, look at
my two friends, Gwazi and Mandla, they spoke highly of you. They said that you stopped them being turned into horrible not men. And this is why you are being given the opportunity to undertake the Great Hunt ritual.
Oh, that's nice. How are they two doing? They were getting the short end of the stick last time I saw them.
He says they're doing much better now. They are fully healed and rested, and they are back and ready to fight some of those horrible Morkan.
Maybe just stay away from each other. Let them know, let them fear and respect you from afar.
He says this is wise. You are wise in the way of war, Rodan.
Yes, I've tried. I think that if you can provoke your enemy so much so that he is scared to look at you, you have won. And you can lord it over him quietly from a distance. It is the ultimate way of showing how more powerful you are than
The Zen art of being Crodan.
the Zen art of not having to come back here and sort that crap out again.
Right, so you laugh and joke for a bit. You have a bit of a drink. Everybody falls asleep early, and you're walking a good hour before dawn. You let out of the tent. There's a great bonfire built in the centre of the village. There are people are wearing ceremonial headdress. They're all covered in beads and necklaces interwoven with things of value, bits of flint, parts of enemies vanquished. And you're brought out, and there's lots of drumming and singing. And Maposa, he says, join in. We eat first, we feast, and then we purify ourselves and we paint ourselves to sanctify to found child.
Yes. Do all of that.
Right. So you join in. Yes.
Oh, I am all in.
Let's have some singing, dancing. What? Andy playing the spoons, whatever.
Oh, I can show them me. Oh, I'm going to do something awesome. Right, these guys are going to have some really good leatherworkers. Let's have a look.
Yes, they have. They generally just wear worked hides. They've got little bits of metal armor that they've traded for, but they generally just use hide.
Who's the big boss guy?
The big boss guy is Chaco Ironspear. He's the chief.
I'm going to go to see Chaco Ironspear at the start of the ceremony and present him with the lizard leather from the lizard god, and tell him that it was the skin of a god that we.
Right. You go over. He's sitting there at the head of the village, if you will, feasting on his great hearty lumps of meat. And he comes over and he says, "Welcome, little brother. It's nice to see you again."
Welcome. I am. This place feels home to me. Amongst people who understand our law and who value the hunt. It has come to me that I have been carrying a trophy for a long time. Many moons ago, we were called upon to slay a minor god, and I took its skin. I was once going to have it made into armor for myself, but have never had the chance. And I think it is better to be on a mighty warrior such as yourself. So I'll present him with the leather that I got from the god from the Rainbow Mounds. Right.
He takes it from you. He examines it. He flexes it to see how it is. Then he bites it to test its toughness, and he's like, "This is like nothing we've ever seen. This is amazing." He shows it to his two warriors who are sitting next to him.
Yeah.
There's lots of nodding and speaking in Agimori. In general, they're trying to speak in trade tongue, but they've obviously got quite heavy accents. And he says, thank you, little brother. This gift is well received."
No, thank you for your hospitality.
He says, "Please eat, drink. We have a long day's hunt today."
Yes, I'll smile like a happy person.
Right. While you're doing this, there are two other Agimori come over to the rest of you. You're all sort of sitting round in a little group, and you recognise them as the two Agimori who you'd saved from the Moroccans. They come up. They're all decked out in their jewellery. The jewellery they wear is often added to and made up with bits of warriors they've vanquished or beasts they've hunted. They come over and they thank each of you, and they said this is a gift. They take off their personal jewellery, which is beads, necklaces, bracelets, things like that, and they hand each of you a piece of their own personal jewellery. And they say, "Thank you. We owe you our lives. We were almost not men because of you."
I'll thank them sincerely. Thank you for
Yep.
this.
Thank you very much.
He says, may these tokens of victory add to your power and prowess. You get the feeling that the taking of tokens, it improves their personal might or worth in amongst the tribe or whatever, and so they're passing on the power to you, if you will.
Note
Whereas-
to self, cut bits off people.
Cut bits off people. Like you don't already do that.
True.
I'm sure someone took all of someone's fingers recently and made them into a necklace.
Yes. Krish took the fingers, but then he put them on the altar, and the giant block fell and crushed them. Wow, I've never heard such a sad sounding "ah" in my entire life.
Oh, we thought we were in for some butchery.
So you eat your fill. You just give them water to drink. They don't imbibe before the great hunt. And then he says, "Right, it's time for us to prepare." So the warriors stand up. They start dancing around the fire ritually, chanting in time to the drums.
Oh, I'm into this. I'm right in there.
So you join.
Where's my dance?
You know, like the Maasai war dancers.
Yep, I'm all
That's
in.
they're all into doing that. So give it some dance while you're there.
I tried.
Nah. Can I sing?
Okay, Andy, check your dancing.
Yes.
Right, Andy dances around the fire. He tries to emulate the Agimori war dance. Unfortunately, they've got gigantic long legs. He accidentally steps on his own flippers and tumbles forward. Bracey just manages to catch him before he goes big over tit
Into the fire.
into the fire. It does seem that everybody does seem to let out a roar of laughter, but it's not laughing at you. It's more laughing with you.
They're laughing with me, not at me.
Yes.
That's
I
actually
will
not-
sing a song of our victory against White Eye.
Ooh, I'll join in with you.
Yeah, and he does love a bit of singing.
Oh, I singed good.
Oh, I'm gonna ruin it. I'm gonna ruin his singing by trying to sing exactly what he's singing. God damn it!
Oh, that's
We're
gonna be one of them
entertaining
nights.
goods and everything.
Yeah. Andy's pretty close, but the real star of the show is Kane, who you didn't expect to be able to belt out a good old fashioned tune, but manages to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, exactly. It's the bit. I like the bit where the chain was stuck in my leg.
Definitely.
Ow, ow, ow! I cried as I swung with the troll hanging on my nad.
And then Maposa comes over and he says it's time for the painting. So while the dancing subsides, there's still the drumming and the chanting. And they have like big tubs of some kind of white dye. And you can see that the warriors are dipping their fingers in and then painting their faces and their arms and their chests in their own fearsome designs. So, would you like to show me how fearsome you are with a crafting roll on body painting?
Can I use craft and tattoo for that? 'Cause it is the
Yeah,
same thing.
I will allow that. You're not doing an intricate thing. Every warrior seems to do his own fierce pattern with his finger, like tracing his fingers over his body. But
My
you
craft
can,
just says craft, but I do have tattooing somewhere, but I can't see it.
Isn't that towards the bottom of that section?
right. So yeah, you have a go. God bless you. You have a go. at creating your face, whereas the Agimori warriors have obviously done this before.
I did it.
Whoa!
I succeeded at tattooing. I have made a fierce thing.
Yeah, Cronin is right into this. He's got swells on his face, like coming off his eyes and off his mouth, so he actually looks like he's got face outline. The rest of you have a
Quick,
go.
someone
Bless you.
take a photo so I can remember how to do it.
So bless you. You do have a go, and nobody takes a mickey out of you for it, but you don't quite look as fierce as you might do, perhaps.
Ha! I am the fiercest.
I am the fierce.
Rawr.
And then finally, the tribe tattooist comes up. He's got his log. He's got his pot of tattooing ink and his little hammer with a bamboo needle on. He taps.
Ooh, the good stuff.
Taps the needle.
High tech.
And he says, "Right." My poser says, "Okay, you need to you need to get a beast.
I'm already stripping off. Go.
You need to get a beast rune tattoo. It's up to you where you do it, and you power it. You power the magic of the hunt with one magic point." He says, "Once you've completed the hunt by defeating a suitably powerful beast in the honor of found child, then the tattoo will heat up to let you know that you're suitably brave and fierce. So, where would you like your beast tattoo, Earl?"
Middle of me forehead.
Wow. Okay. So
I'm all in.
Earl gets a beast tattoo in the middle of his forehead, and you power it with a magic point.
Yes.
Right. You sacrifice a magic point. It glows briefly. Everybody else in the party's sitting looking at you. Earl's like, "I'm hardcore. I'm going all the way. I tell you."
I'm literally standing next to the fire, screaming, "Rah!" and making me animal and even Beck Dag's just looking as if to say, "What?"
I'll have it on the back of me right shoulder.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have this on his paw.
You're getting Dag's getting
He worships found child.
That's fair enough. Right. Okay. Andy, where would you like your tattoo?
I don't have a lot of choice. It'll have to be on me beak somewhere.
Oh, brave! I like it. Well, you've seen the old Chinese tattooists and that when they get the little thing and the tap, and it stings like a bugger. So Andy grimaces his way through it as he gets his little beast rune on his beak.
Did you know that Vikings used to use little chisels to chisel grooves into their teeth so they could dye them different colours, which is where Harold Bluetooth got it. It wasn't because the iPod did things in his ears.
Are you suggesting that you go in full hardcore and go chisel me teeth as well?
No, I was thinking of doing it to his bill.
Oh wow!
Blue Bill. Rah!
Oh, Blue Bill the pirate! I'm loving it. Right, so Andy, you grimace. Are you getting it to one side? Are you getting it slap bang in the middle? My poser looks at you all and goes, "That's hardcore. Like you only had to have it on your arm or something."
Yeah, but I'm covered in feathers, man.
That is true. And Brissy, where would you like your tattoo?
On his eyeball.
I'm so tempted to get a Mike Tyson, but I don't know.
I was tempted to get one tattooed there. No.
I'll ask for two down both forearms.
Right, okay. Now I get the feeling that you're all just like trying to outcompete each other. Like, bring it! I want two massive ones on my forearms, like Popeye.
It's like, hang on, zip, lob. There you go.
It's like, that's not your forearm. right? And Ryan, finally, where do you want to get your mystical
I
title?
said have it on the back of my right shoulder.
Oh yes, sorry, yes. Presumably, you're all given your magic point. It's not a permanent thing. It's just like a general worship.
I'm going to lean over to McLovin and go, he's got a fucking tramp stamp. I'm not saying that loud enough for him to hear us. I'm terrified, but that's not the point.
Right. So, once the tattooing's finished, the sun's come up, and it's early morning. It's around 9 a.m. And you are handed out your ritual weapons, which is basically a stick with bells on it, and then a leather cover that goes over the top so that the bells don't shake while you're trying to sneak up. Maposa says these are what you will use to either drive the beast or lure the beast. You can fight it yourself if you want to, or you can try and lure it Scooby-Doo style into the waiting warriors. All of the tribe's warriors come out, including Chaku, and his right-hand man, which is Mr. Brubian.
Can I just turn
And
around to the
Kubi
lads a second and
Brewstalker.
say, you do know Kubi Brewstalker? Is he called Scooby-Doo? Did you just call the other guy Scooby-Doo Stalker?
No, but I think I might now. No, he's Ankubi Brewstalker. Ankubi Dooby Doo. Ankubi Dooby Doo.
Right, lads.
Right, Ankubi
Well,
Brewstalker is Chaka's right hand man. He is enormous. He's like size 22, and if he was in a pulp series of novels, he would be described as having raven hair and mighty thews. He's that kind of. He's hard drinking, hard fighting, and hard wenching.
you mean he's one of the lads?
If he had another dimension, he'd have 3. But yeah,
Right, lads, you know what we're going to have to do, right? We're not going to mess about with this stick thing, right? We're going to... this is when there's just me and the lads. We're just going to find the biggest, nastiest thing, and we're going to kill the death out of it.
well, the plan is Maposa is going to come with you,
Right?
and help you track
Yes.
a big nasty beastie. So they will basically, you'll head across towards the north bog. You will head this way across here. There's a narrow path that leads down to the Great Bog, so you'll be the north of the Duke's Fort. They'll set up camp about here, and then you will hunt along the northern edge of the Great Bog, because that's where they says that's where the good hunting is. And then obviously you can either deal with it yourselves, or you can come up with some kind of plan. But you'll know when you've pleased Foundchild, because your tattoos will get all warm and tingly.
Well, I've got a cunning plan.
So that.
Remember
What's
the you know that episode of Jackass where they dressed up as a zebra and they went in the lion enclosure?
Oh, genius! Right, we'll dress you up as a girl Tyrannosaurus Rex. We'll need a bow.
Okay.
While it's really confused during the main thrust, we'll leap on it. You
love
might
how-
have to brace yourself, Gracie.
I love how this adventure is two humanity adventuring with Harry Potter and Prince to try and find something.
Right, it's all right. Me and Feck and Dag have got this sorted. Right,
Right.
come on then, boys. Let's get going.
Right, the warriors come out. They've got their normal spears, which resemble African spears, but they're also carrying their enormous 2-meter pikes, which are more like the Macedonian pikes, those massive long things.
Oh yeah, these guys are like insane pikemen, aren't they?
Insane pikemen.
Oh yeah, because they won't break.
Yes, they will not break. They will stand in a line. So this is why the hunt the great beasts. This is why you either lure or drive them into. There's basically an Agimori pike wall waiting for them at the other end of the river. So this is the cunning plan. It's to show your bravery, the fact that you can either, well, deal with it however you want. So unless you have any other plans, anything else you want to ask, or?
I go cross-eyed, I can say this tattoo on the end of me beak.
It's a good one. Right, no, I'm all in. I'm all for it. Me and the dag. We've got this.
Right, they take you to the north part of the Great Bog, where you see on the map there, and the warriors set up. They drive their big pikes into the ground in a rough line, and Chaku's there, and he basically says, "Good luck in the hunt. Maposa will accompany you, as he is familiar with this land."
I will let the land know that a grey dog is here to hunt it by shouting, as is our tradition. I will shout grey dog bitches at the top of my voice to the whole land, so it knows who's about to.
Grey dog bitches get stitches.
Yeah. And let's get going.
Right, Maposa leads you across the river. You find a shallowish spot and wade across the River of Cradles, and you head along the North Bog. It's very difficult to track, and in addition, Earl, you see many tracks. There are enormous ones, there are small ones, there are many beasts and birds and sometimes moving flora in the Valley of Cradles. But eventually he beckons you to get low, and he says, "It's round here," and he leads you through a small copse of trees, and you crouch behind. There's a boulder and a log. The logs are resting against the boulder. You crouch behind that, and then he goes, "The bull's over there," and like gestures over to the side of the bog.
I'll take a glance.
Right, you have a quick look. You take a quick look over, and you see the bull, which is currently munching some grass on the edge of the swamp.
Has the bull got bull?
The bull.
Has it got? That's not a bull. That's a triceratops.
Yeah.
This is
And what are we taking this on with? Jangly twigs.
Jangly twigs. So he goes, "Yes, he's a great bull," and then he holds his fingers up again to make the little horn.
Just a second. Is this a big one?
It is a very big one. It's a big male. Off in the distance, you can see a smaller female that's got a little cub, I guess you would say, that is eaten by the trees. This one, it's completely relaxed, so it's bending down and eating. Occasionally, it'll take a look left or right.
I'm going to look carefully at its feet. Its feet won't do well in deep mud, will it?
No.
Okay. Just wait again. And me and Feck and Dog will sneak off. And I'm going to track along the banks of the river to find a big patch of mud. Like really deep, horrible, sucky bog mud.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find a way across said mud, like working a way around it using a stick to where the other side.
Give us a survival roll then.
Can I take Andy with us? Because
You can take whoever you want with you.
Andy, come with me, because
Earl
this
comes
is your
back.
thing.
Sneaks around. The bull just sort of casually rips great chunks of like tree and brush up.
I've got no idea
munches
about
it. You can see it turn its great head. It doesn't seem to be worried in the slightest about anything.
Right. I have no idea how to do this, but you will. Come on, Flap. This is your thing. I need a safe path around the side of that big thing of deep.
Not a problem. What do I roll?
So
Do I even need to roll?
Yeah, I was going to say.
no,
will
you,
walk
you
it.
you're pretty au fait with giant bogs. So you find a large patch of mud, and you find a place where there's some solid enough ground that the big clumsy orcs in the party will be able to run past. You're not sure about Kane, as he's jangling around in lots of bronze armor.
Yeah.
Right, we'll mark the path.
I'm just going to say that.
Sticks with little bits of coloured string tied around them, so they're not... or feathers. I've got a pocket full of feathers.
I've got a body full of feathers, and you know I've none of mine.
True. Right, and then we'll make sure that we'll mark the path all the way back to where.
You are going to really love this, I promise you.
Oh, I know.
I can say this coming. How's going to be the decoy? How leads his thing straight across the patch of mud? I look down at me feet.
But we run straight into a T-Rex.
Do you know what a stalking horse is? Well, we're going to do something like that, except we're going to use drolls.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just drop you on here. And over by the river.
Please don't make this. This is going to be. I knew that was going to be huge, isn't it?
Oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed.
That's a big lad.
It's like a Final Fantasy boss fight.
Right. Well, I am going to cast maneuverability on myself and on.
And mobility as well, right?
As well.
Maneuverability. So under your flaps are extra limber. Top Gun style. Right. So far, Ryan, Bracy, do you have any input on this plan? My pause is like, this be a good fight, yeah?
Oh yeah, this is going to be class.
Oh yeah.
But don't forget, you've got sticks with bells on.
Oh yeah. I am aware that sticks with bells on are totally gonna help us.
How dry is the ground in general with the plants and stuff?
It is quite dry where you are at the moment because that thing weighs a few tons and it's not sinking all the way in. It's sinking a little bit into the mud, but you're on the edge of the Great Bog. So to the south is a lot of muddy and marshy ground.
Me and Fat Tavish will get its attention. You lot just stay out the way. And then when it charges past, right, and it will charge past, use follow. You don't want to be in front.
Right.
I
Don't
am
think-
standing next to you when you said that, you know.
Yeah, me and you will be fine.
Oh,
I'll turn out to Dag and
There's my
say,
pauser.
Dag, stay here with the lads. They're going to follow. Unless you want a one-on-one with a dinosaur. My God, that dog just looked at me like I was stupid.
So, huh?
I could cheat, but I assume that just charming the beast and making it walk into the bog would be considered cheating.
Yes.
that's
The
the
found child ritual is the beast cannot be ill, it can't be charmed, anything like that. Because you're out to prove your manhood. Yeah, like I got it to suicide and drown itself in the river. That would not go down well.
What did you do? I made it stab itself 30 times. What? I win.
Right. Okay. Does Krish Krish or McLovin have anything they need to do. Maposa is with you, but obviously he's more of a friendly observer. He's already done his warrior ritual, so he can't really help, to be honest.
I mean, just following the plan. The great hunter here seems to know what he's doing.
If it all goes horribly wrong, we might have to hack it to pieces.
How far
Good.
do we have to drive
With
it
a
to
little
these other
jangly
warriors?
stick.
Or we're not going to drive it to the other warriors.
I wanna. Okay.
We're going to drive it into a bog and then stab it to death.
I could just glue its feet to the floor.
I think it would. Your strength, if you glue it, wouldn't even notice.
You're going to glue it to the mud. The mud will just move with it.
Right. So, McLovin,
Well,
what is your current plan? Any thoughts? You're looking over. This thing's just munching away there on the edge of the river.
I'm gonna get ready to.
Run like hell.
No, where are we at the minute in relation to this thing? Oh, but there. Sorry.
You're on the map. You're hiding behind a boulder and a bit of a
Right.
thing to overlook.
So right. So Earl, where are you trying to drive it to?
South
North.
along this
South.
path, then I've marked an area and we're going to lead it through that area and then we're going to cut across and hopefully it'll charge straight at us and end up in the bog. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to keep running.
Just out of curiosity, Rich, these rock formations on our left and to the north, how high are they?
About 6 foot, 12 foot.
If it goes horribly wrong, could we get up them and not have this thing charge after us? Up there on top of the rock.
You're not sure. You've never been charged by an incredibly angry Triceratops yet.
Right.
Sorry, did I say
was
yet? That slipped out.
There was that barn made in cracks.
Shh, we'll talk about that.
Right.
Well, I think we should maybe spread out a bit up north. So if it runs like maybe west or like southwest, we'll whip out our dangly sticks and then jangle them and drive it more southways.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah.
I'll get it to 10.
I have to admit, when I started reading into this and I thought, facing a Triceratops with a bunch of jangly sticks with bells on, I thought that's got something that
Awesome.
has to happen.
Right. I will decide the best way to get it to tension while getting my bow out and string
Right,
it.
so you can move about generally if you stick to the left-hand edge there, where all the cover is. So please place your characters where you move to. Right, Earl runs out in the middle, waves his hands.
No,
and
that
goes,
just
"Oh, you."
moves. Yeah.
So
I will take aim at its ring piece.
Why don't I just run out into the middle of the track and wave me jangly stick at it?
Because it might run off north.
Yeah.
Or, well, it's got a 50-50 chance either run off north or go, I'm going to have you and charge south after you. So I don't know.
or it could completely ignore you. It's not in any way feeling threatened. There are like beasts on the other side of the river. There's crocodiles swimming up and down the river. It's basically the biggest, baddest thing in the area. It doesn't seem to.
No, it's not. Kane's the biggest, baddest thing in the area.
Earl, why don't you notch an arrow, set a light, and fire it past it to the north, so it sets a bit of thing on fire, and that'll spook itself.
No, it's all right. I've got a
Right,
plan.
is everybody where the characters are hiding? Right, Maposa's going to hide.
Yeah.
He'll hide round this bit round here, out the way, and watches. And Chris,
Shooting in the arse with a
where would you
fire
like? Where would you like Chris to go?
arrow. He's fine there.
Why don't we just throw rocks at it?
I've got it. Don't worry about it. Dude, seriously, I'll get it to 10. If I shoot it in the arse with a fire arrow, that's not cheating, is it?
No. Basically, you just have to deal with it. Take it to the Agimori, kill it, do whatever. As soon as you've fulfilled the...
I'll shoot it with a fire arrow. I'll try to aim for its ring piece. Somewhere soft.
Right, so that's at minus 50%.
I will take.
It is a kind of a big target, so I'll give you plus 20% on that as well. So half it, but then add 20%. You could also try invoking a rune if you wanted to.
Nah, I've hit it.
Right, so roll 3d6 because that was just a normal hit.
Oh yeah, this actually does hurt. I forgot this thing was a thing.
Eight points of damage. Right, you shoot away you think might be soft and squishy. It bounces off its incredibly tough hide. The arrow falls onto the soggy ground behind it and goes out. Please roll a d100, Al. $70. Okay, its enormous tail flicks left and right, and it sort of raises its head up. It's still chewing, and it kind of looks right over its shoulder.
I'll shoot it again.
Then doesn't say anything and just goes back to eating.
Wow. Water brush off. I'll shoot it again. Without the fire arrow.
Without the fire arrow. But you're not aiming this time, eh?
I'll aim. But nothing in particular, just, I'm not just spazzing shot. I'm trying to get a soft area.
Damage 7, right. Again, it doesn't even stick in like a normal arrow. It rattles off its right foreleg. But this time it doesn't even look up. It just continues to eat the grass.
This is going well.
Maposa looks at you and sort of like makes the nudge thingy and sort of wiggles his stick about as if to say, do something.
Don't worry. I'll shoot it again.
Right, 2 points of damage. That gets it. It barely hits it. It scratches on its toenail and it doesn't even acknowledge that you've hit it this time.
Right. This calls
Okay. I was like,
drastic
right,
action.
this is not working. Where's my jangly stick?
Nope. I'm going to kneel down. I'm going to take aim on its most intimate part of its body.
Okay.
I can see the most intimate part of its body, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Reminds me of a grizzly bear.
I'm going to...
You're gonna what? You cut out.
I'm going to cast Speed Dart and shoot it in the nad.
In the nad singular.
Well, I'm going to try for the right at the end, the most sensitive part, but I'll take a nad.
Okay.
It's a hit.
Right. Okay. Give me another D100 roll. 100. Wow. Okay. It doesn't seem to have done any damage. However, you seem to have clipped it on a sensitive part. Its head suddenly jerks up. It lets out an enormously loud bellow. And
That's dinosaur for out of my dick.
its head whips round. 100. Its head whips round, madly searching for the source
I'll
of
make myself
annoyance.
look big.
Right. Are you wearing all your armor, or are you bare chested with all of your fierce warpaint on?
I'm big faced, but I've got my armor and I'm dancing up and down, shaking my arms around, looking like Borbin when he's drunk.
Right. Okay. This giant dinosaur sees you, it narrows its beady little eyes at you, it lowers its head and charges towards you.
Run like fuck.
Yep, pretty much.
Right, so it moves to there. Let's have some initiative.
Oh god.
Right, hold on a second. I need to clear this. My mistake. Remove all turns. Clear. Right, okay. Give us some initiative, rolly type stuff. And let's see where we land.
Oh, do I need to do it again? Okay.
Triceratops literally rolls the worst in the whole world.
Yeah, but you've got to admit, it's probably got something else on its mind at the moment.
Well, then it's initiative roll.
It goes, me dick. Right, I'm just adding in item label round. Right, so first up is actually Crodan.
Run! Run! Run really fast!
Okay, you did have mobility on, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, but you've used 3 rounds of that by shooting ineffectually at it.
That doesn't matter. I'll cast it again if I have to. I'm running.
Right, Crodan turns and runs like a bugger as this.
I will jangle my jangly stick in my hand while I'm running.
Right, you hold it back over your head and sort of go ching 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 ching.
Yeah.
Right, and you take off running south.
Yeah.
Okay, you run south. Next up we have Ruwalin.
I'm right beside him.
Right. No.
Unfortunately, pool ducks on land are 2 points slower, so you're not quite as fast. So you're just behind.
You don't need to outrun the bear. You just need to outrun the person
Yeah.
that's with you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's likely that you're the one that's going to get horribly gored to death while Croden.
I'll turn around and say, don't forget to shake your rattly.
Oh, I'm shaking me rattly stick at it.
Right, so you whip the leather cover off. Chicka, 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 chicka. Right, okay, Kane. What we're going to do is we're going to move this up here, and we're going to put people further up. So McLovin's
Richie,
up here.
I wonder how this goes, things, Richie. Under no circumstances do you ever think we would do.
Nobody's going to attack the Triceratops. That's absolute insanity. Why would they do that? Particularly if, I gave them other methods to deal with it. No, who's going to attack a Triceratops? By shooting it in the dick.
You do know that was almost inevitable.
Well, I do now. Right, so these two take off like mad. They whip their covers off their little jangly sticks and wave them frantically over the head. Next up, Kane. What would you like to do, sir?
Right, since I'm slightly ahead of them, can I... Oh God, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I want to try and stick to the plan of... I want to head towards the south area slowly and try and sneak and hide. I mean, I know it's me.
No, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I'm sticking to the plan. I'm sneaking and hiding. I did a hide.
You did a hide as well. Just not very quietly. Pretty quietly though. And it is quite fixated on somebody else. So you just see Kane.
I'll just move a little bit.
You just see
south.
the odd rustle of bulrushes and things like that as he's sneaking along. You do hear a little bit of splosh, splosh, splosh. Right, McLovin.
As it moves south, I'm going to move across so I can like go down behind it, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not just going to run straight out while it's, right beside us.
Yeah. So you let this gigantic rampaging beast past.
Yeah, and then I'll go
And
south
then the
after.
Triceratops. Don't talk about that. Like Roland, like not his fault.
Okay. Krish will move to the south to keep pace. Not sure what the plan is or what he's supposed to be doing, but ready with a hail spell should you need it. And finally, the Triceratops closes the distance with you because it's charging and it's moving very quick. And I know you've got mobility on, but it's closed it by a little bit.
We have both got mobility on, haven't we?
Yes. Earl cast mobility on both of you.
Yeah, I thought.
Right. Next round.
How far have we got to go to get to this muddy, splodgy bit?
How far did you want it away from you, Earl?
Not very.
I wanted close enough to keep it interested, but not far enough, but not so close that if I stumble, it's going to.
Yeah, it's just
Turn
that
me into-
your mobility is going to last 10 rounds, and you've already used a round or 3 of those.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm prepared.
Right, because you've got mobility on, you are keeping it at a distance. It has closed a fraction. It's bellowing and charging towards you. Cruden, you're up. What are you planning on doing?
Keep running. I'm not. stopping
I know you're
running.
jangling.
Oh, I am jangling like
Right.
I am jangling like a Morris dancer with epilepsy.
Make a herding roll.
A herding roar.
A herding roll.
I was never very good on the farm. I'll be brutally honest. I wasn't good at herding. But I am a grey dog, so we are taught these things, how to herd cattle towards someone else's, away from their field towards your field, but I never didn't pay much attention. So
Right, so you don't manage to deviate in any way. It just comes straight charging at you. Unfortunately, Llewellyn's in the way of that, and he's
I'll
like,
shout, "Come by! Come by! Jingle, 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 run, 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 jingle, jingle, come by!"
right. So Earl dashes off down here. Next up, fortunately, we have Llewellyn.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing.
Right, your leg it flip flap flap flip flap flap flap.
Flap, flap, jangle, jangle, jangle. Oh,
You get the
good idea.
distinct impression that this probably wasn't the greatest idea ever.
All of
No,
my
I've
plans
got-
are fantastic.
All right.
It's all right. I've got a shield.
And are you just trying to continue to get it to run towards this area of mud?
I want it in the bog.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And if
Kane,
that doesn't work, I'm dead.
it goes into this muddy bog. It sinks up to its knees. It's like, right. Kane.
I'm just gonna continue doing my little shuffle onwards south. I don't know how far I can move in around whilst
could
trying
be
to hide.
I was going to say, after about a round, it can probably start jogging because that thing's just
Yeah.
going to tear us past.
Yes, it is charging.
Okay, well I'll just move down here. Not like crazy far, but distant.
Right, and McLovin, you're following up the rear, but you're falling
Yeah.
behind now because they're running off and this thing's charged them.
Second more, he's going to be thinking, what the hell?
Yeah. I follow it without my dangly out. Sorry, my dangly jingle out.
But are you running after it at full tilt to try and catch up?
Yeah. And if it looks like it's going to suddenly stop, I'll just drop down.
Roll on your back and play dead like it's a grizzly.
Like a possum, yeah.
Please don't go me to death. Please don't go me to death. Right, so you manage to keep pace with it, and you run off and lead it through the bog. It's starting to get a little bit splashy now.
Second dog will walk over to the Agimori, look at him, and when he looks at him, he'll sort of just shrug his doggy shoulders as if to go, "This sort of thing happens all the time. Don't worry about it." Little.
So what I'm going to need from you now, as you start to get into the muddy brush bit, is I'm going to need some Dex times 5 rolls, please.
Hang on. Dex times.
And then what we're going to do for Mr.
Dex
Oh no!
Right.
I mean, that was int.
times. How do I do a Dex times 5?
Did I do it?
Okay.
Time? Oh,
Um,
wait, no, that was in, Rich. I pressed the wrong button.
no.
I don't think I've ever done one.
Right.
Stupid
So
out.
open your character sheet,
Yeah.
0-4!
and if you scroll down on the main page to where your stats are, you've got 2
Yes.
little luck runes. The first one's a Dex times 5.
Right.
And the second one is a Dex times, and it'll ask you for an input. So if you want to do a Dex times 3, you type 3 in when it tells you.
Got you. Right.
I really want that to be a fumble so bad. Right. So, unfortunately, the Triceratops failed by more than everybody else. So it starts to sink in more than it thought, and it loses momentum.
I will slow down so to keep it like I don't want to outrun it so it loses interest. I'm going to slow down and I will start making really stupid noises that are the found child provoke animals noises.
Right. Well, give me an intimidate roll because there's such a skill.
I
You've
am very intimidating. I am really intimidating.
You're scaring the shit out of me right now.
No way!
What?
Right.
I got
So.
a tick.
Earl's just accidentally made a mating call. Uh-oh.
Right, so Ruwalan, you're up next. Earl starts leaping about, making noises like a madman, waving his stick in the air. But in fact, the opposite seems to be happening. The Triceratops is seeing it's getting quite muddy, so it's slowed down, and it looks like it's about to turn off and
Annoy it.
And go
annoy
the
it
other
a
way.
lot.
Is there anything that I can pelt at it?
there most certainly will be something you can pelt at it. There'll be like loose rocks, or
Yeah,
Jangle.
you can
Stick.
jangle your stick at it.
Well, I'm still jangling the stick at it, but I meant if there's like, you know, a loose rock or a lump of mud or something.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. There'll be something you can throw at it.
And I'm intending to sort of slow down, but not too much, if you understand what I mean.
Yes.
To try and keep its attention and hopefully lob something at it. And hope it's thick enough to think it might have been me who fired that thing that its bollocks.
Right. So are you trying to hurt it, or are you trying to intimidate it?
I don't know, but I
If you're throwing stuff at it and making loud noises and things like that, then you can have a go at intimidate, which I think you're quite good at because you were a soldier.
Right, I was thinking more along the lines of chase me, you know, if you say what I mean.
Yes. So try and intimidate roll.
Right. Now I've got. Hang on a minute while I go and look for that. Intimidate will be under
Communication, halfway down.
terribly much.
No problem.
Oh, intimidate. Right. Well, I'll give it a whirl. This is not going to go well.
Yeah, not so bad. Right, you shout some scathing duck insults at it, but although it seems to want to continue to kill Crodan, it doesn't seem to want to go into the
I'll
mud.
shoot it in the dick again.
Okay, so next up we have McLovin. McLovin, you come running up behind it, and then you've seen it stop as it's getting into the muddier part of the ground, and it's sort of half turning towards you.
Right. I'll drop down into a crouch. Is there any really dry reeds or anything close by us?
No, you're kind of on the edge of the North Bog. It's a bit soggy.
Air elemental that blow right up its a ring piece.
Guys, I have a brilliant plan.
Jingle your stick at it, I dare you.
No, because I'll be in the wrong direction.
Well, we don't know if the jingling the sticks scares it or pisses it off.
Well,
It
it,
tends to have no effect either way. To be fair.
it does make you feel better when you run.
You're very
I wonder-
fast at making me feel better.
I wonder if I could try to make a noise like a T-Rex.
Yeah, you've never heard a T-Rex.
Yeah. Ow.
You could shout T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex at the top of your voice,
Yeah.
but you've never actually heard one before.
Right. While I'm crouching down, I will take the sheath off my jangly stick.
Right.
Is it still turning around towards us?
Yeah. It seems to like not want to go into the ground, which is starting to get quite soft for it.
Right. While I'm crouching down, keeping an eye on where it is, I will jangle my stick to see if it scares it or if it pisses it off.
Right,
You left
so-
a torch and a tinderbox in your pocket.
I have, but I don't know if it's that's what I was thinking to set fire to the reeds, but
Yeah, but even if you light the torch and wave the flaming torch at it, that might be enough to like push it away from the fire.
could be.
If you say what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So, are you trying to intimidate it to run towards Earl, or are you trying to herd it?
I'm trying to hurt it.
Right.
Make it run after me.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it run away.
Run for me. I'm going to do two incredibly stupid things in a moment.
Yes, you are.
Oh no, these are right up there.
Go on then. Give us some herding.
What? 10%. Oh!
Right.
Oh,
well,
well
there's
done that, man.
a special success. McLovin yanks the leather cover off his jangly stick. The Triceratops goes, it's not worth it, it's getting thingy. Turns round, and you know when you like surprise a cat, McLovin leaps out with his badly painted war paint and thrusts his jangly stick and goes, jangle, 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 jangle. You almost see the Triceratops go, ooh, and it turns and runs back towards Earl again.
Excellent.
You say. I always knew them stories about you and the goats were true.
Right, so the mad enraged Triceratops, now running away from McLovin, runs towards Ruwalin and Crodan. And that is round 2. We're back to Crodan.
Right. I will run. And I will also. Should I cast Ignite on it? No, I shouldn't. No, I was going to shoot it and cast Ignite, but I think we'll keep that for later. I'll run. I will just run. I need to get it deeper and follow the sticks.
So you're going to try and herd it and jangle it with
I'm going to
herding.
intimidate it towards me. Because I'm,
You intimidate it away from you, on I suppose. Because it's not exactly scented, so you can't come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will try to make myself look like a vulnerable target. You know, like you do with a bull.
Okay.
To try
At
to
least
get
nobody's
it
trying to pull out a red cloak and wave it in
Not
front
one.
of it.
Oh, I need one of those.
A red
So
cloak.
can I do intimidate now?
Yes. Go on then. I don't mind. Herd or intimidate, whatever you prefer.
Well, whichever's high is where I'm going to go. But no, I'm going to try. No, it wasn't the worst failure in the world.
It wasn't the worst failure in the world. It's charging towards you, but not quite as angrily now.
I need
And
to
it
get
also
that-
seems to be picking its footing. Right, Kane.
Guys, we've got no choice. We're
Sorry.
going to have to get creative.
Ruwalin, you're up next. It's still coming towards you. Earl's jingling for all he's worth and shouting and swearing insults, and he's going, "Oh, look, my arm's not working. Oh, I'm a wounded animal." It doesn't seem to be having a lot of effect, to be fair.
Well, I guess the only
Maposa's sitting there looking at Dog. Maposa looks at Dog. Dog looks at Maposa. They're like, share this animal bond as if to go, what the...
I think dog's probably going to give him the look that says, "Just watch, just be patient. It'll bound to get goodness."
Right. So, Ruwalan, your
I
turn,
guess
sir.
The only thing I can do is trot along behind Crawdad, and I shall try and intimidate it to chase me.
Right, go on then. I'll let you do this.
There should be an entice skill.
You put on a pair of a dress and pretend to be a female Tyrannosaurus like Bugs Bunny. You do succeed.
Ah,
So, Ruwalan turns, makes it a roar at it, jangles his stick looking fierce. You can see this thing, it sort of narrows its eyes, lowers its head, and then instead of charging at Cruden as it has been, it veers just ever so slightly and charges directly at you.
oh shit!
It worked. I've got its attention. Oh, whoa.
It is getting quite close now. It's no more than about 12 metres behind you now.
Hang on, we haven't moved this turn.
Well,
No,
we have, it's just the map.
I'm just putting it a relative scale sort of thing, do you know what I mean?
Imagine this is like an animation where everything's flying past.
Yes.
And we just look like we're standing.
Yes, it's about 12 metres away because you keep stopping to like intimidate it, which then works, and then you're like, why did I just do that? That's a man charging
Stopping
Triceratops.
seems really dangerous.
No, none of this stopping. Slowing down.
So next up we have McLovin. Right.
Stopping business.
You scare it away, McLovin. It's turned. Andy's now waved his arms about and jangled his stick in a threatening manner, and it's turned around and it's apparently going to try and gore Andy to death.
Right, I'll sheathe my stick and then I'll go south after it again.
Right. Okay, McLovin sprints after it. And next up we have. Actually, we should have had Kane before McLovin. So, Kane, what would you like to do, sir?
I'm still gonna keep jogging down the side if they're like,
Yeah, you're just jogging.
The plan is to keep it. I mean, if they're planning to keep its attention and keep it going in one direction, I don't want to hinder that so much. So I'm just gonna wait until
No, please,
the
hinder away.
plan changes. No,
You're just watching. You're like, you get
they
on with
have
that.
mobility. I do not. There is a big difference between me running away from it and them.
That's true. I don't believe McLovin has mobility either. So if he does actually get it to turn on him,
He's dead.
he's going to get squished.
I also have invisibility.
Yeah. So I'll keep moving
Do
south
not
with
make the Triceratops
trying to
invisible.
keep parallel as much as possible.
That would be great.
I guarantee you get some points from a trickster god for that one.
Everybody just be looking for footprints.
Right, the ground is much softer now, and you are luring this great beast into the soft part. There's like a quick sandy bit you're luring it to. So, Cruden, you're up first. You need to try and lure it into this without getting yourself killed. So, what's the
that's
plan?
quite easy. I'm going to slow down so it can almost catch me. And I am going to jump across with the great salmon leap.
I've never wanted to fumble so much in my entire life.
Will that get it? I want to get it. I know animals quite well, and this is behaving like a bull, so I need to get it like it's gonna put its head down and charge.
Yes, well, it is going to do that. Well, you did make its reaction roll 100 by shooting it in the dick, so it is quite enraged with you.
Right, okay.
But at the moment, it wants to kill Andy because Andy successfully intimidated onto himself. He now thinks this is a bad idea.
All right, it's okay then. I'll grab Andy and I'll throw Andy across the mud with me.
Well, I was just thinking, because with me being a duck and having the old big web feet and everything,
I could just run across the mud.
I should be able
That's
to
a really good point.
straight
Flap, flap,
across
flap,
the muddy bit, and hopefully it's gone like barking mad, and it'll just chase me, and it'll fall in.
That seems like a perfectly reasonable plan. So you run across the mud.
Yeah.
You jangle for all you're worth, presumably muttering, oh shit, under your breath as this thing's like 12 metres behind you.
Pretty much.
Give me a look roll, Andy. Power times 5.
Okay, right, hang on. I'm also thinking when I get to the other side of this muddy patch, I'm tempted to just stop and turn around and face it.
Yeah,
And then-
that's what I'm going to do.
And hopefully it'll think, oh, champion, I've got him now, and it'll come at me. Right, power times 5. That's power times 5. Is that power times 5? That's hideous, whatever it is.
It is. You failed your luck roll, so it's charging towards you, but it's coming off at one side. It's not going to go cleanly through the bit where it's going to sink into the mud. So Crodan or Rualan will need to do something to.
Right. I will have to get its attention and. Right, I will run across its its vision, so I'll run between it and Roland, and I will shake my stick at it to get its attention, and then I will dive like a maniac as far across this bog as I can possibly get. I am going to use everything. I am going to invoke my air rune for my jump, because I am literally at this point pooping myself because I have a really bad feeling I'm going to fumble now and get turned into a kebab.
Right, go on. Invoke your air rune first.
Yes.
Right, so you're at 20% success bonus. What are you trying to do first? Are you trying to intimidate it to attack you, or?
I'm gonna run past. I'm running between it and Rualan, right?
Yeah.
Which should, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to counter coup it by throwing my jingly stick off its nose.
Right, okay.
And then I'm going to, if that gets its attention, I'm going to jump headlong as far as I can across the mud. And in the air, I'm going to turn myself into a skeet and skid across the surface of the mud. This is the plan.
Right.
I've planned it.
Right. Okay, Andy, you see death looming just meters away. It's veered round, so you know for a fact it's about to skew you because it's not going through the deep bit. Insanely, Earl invokes his errand, so he shouts, "All hands, don't fail me now," or something similar. Runs in, bounces the jingly stick, roll an intimidate roll, Earl. You've got 20%
Can I
bonus.
make a throw roll instead of intimidate?
Yes, with a 20% bonus, because that's an airy thing.
Yes.
Yes, right. So you throw it, and it bounces just above its eye, and it looks incredibly angry.
And now I'm going to jump and turn myself into a skeet.
You
This
make
is
your
the most
you make your jump roll.
dangerous. This is so dangerous.
This
and
is
stupid.
incredibly dangerous.
I made it.
Right. So Earl throws it. He then jumps the great salmon leap, and he leaps over the top of the mud
When
pile.
I'm leaping, I'm going to flip my legs like the salmon leap does.
He flips his legs. The Triceratops, enraged, turns its head and crashes into the soft part of the mud, and it starts to sink. It hasn't completely stopped though. It hasn't become completely engulfed in the mud. It's just about moving. It's lost all of its charge. And it hasn't managed to reach it to instantly kill you with its 14d6 damage bonus or whatever it is.
I'll get out of lashing around range and wait for the guy.
But
to
it's
show
sort of gone schlup as its legs a thing. But it is entangled, but it can still move, but slowly next round. Right, so McLovin, you catch up. You see this? Earl's lying in the mud, panting, and he's just frozen there, holding his jangly stick, like literally staring death in the face, and he's completely frozen.
I was still running.
Oh, I thought you'd stopped on the other side of the mud.
Oh well, yes. If I'm on the other side of the
Yes, you're on the other side of the mud, and it's like this thing's crashed into the mud. There's a great splash of mud gone everywhere. It's like splattered all up your front, and it's about 2 meters. The tip of this thing's 2 meters away from you, pointing at your gizzard. So you're literally just standing, staring at this incredibly sharp point, going,
Why do I listen to him?
Right.
I've got my hand on the hilt of my short sword, just in case.
Right, McLovin, you run up to the other side
Mhm.
now, so we're all sort of here.
Yep.
Like this.
Kill it.
And Croden's up there. Chris is coming running down now after watching this, shaking his head, saying that there'll be a story about this. What would you like to do?
I will whip out my spear.
Yep, get my spear out as well.
Can we get close? Can I get close enough to behind it to get an attack on one of its hind legs without it whipping round?
Well, we'll wolf pack it. Basically, when it turns to face someone, you back off, and then the people at the back will attack. We'll just work it down like the.
Yeah, try and disable its legs.
Go for the nice soft bit under its tail.
Right.
You know, Triceratops kebab and all that.
Yeah. So McLovin runs up, pulls his spear out. Kane, you see all of this. The Triceratops is still moving, but slowly. You jog over by McLovin, presumably.
Yeah, I'll jog over, by McLovin.
I'll turn around to Feck and Dag as he runs up and grin.
Right, so you're waiting until my pause and thing. This poor thing's struggling like mad.
Poor thing.
And succeeds. So it still moves forward, so that the tip of the horns is only a metre away from you now.
I'll back up a little bit.
You all back up. Right, can you please all make listen rolls?
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, because you know what this means, don't you? We've
Yeah.
attracted one of them big two-legged things with little arms.
Yeah.
That
Right.
was the plan.
Right, that was a scan roll.
Oh, I've made listen.
Wait a minute. I'm looking for listen.
Done it.
McLovin has failed dismally. Wallen succeeds. Anybody else have to go?
Oh, for that, sorry, yeah.
Right, Ruwalan, Crodan, you all back up. This thing's floundering in the mud. You hear a low growl from behind you and off to the side. Make an animal law type roll.
Everyone or just them?
Just you two, because you're the only ones that held it.
What is it with these dice?
100.
Yeah, but I've rolled 6 times and 3 of them have been 100. At least I got a tick.
What is that?
It's big, whatever it is.
It's a don't worry about it. It's a hunting cap.
Right, so you're not sure where it is. You whip round and you can make it a scan roll.
Made it.
You made it by 23.
What T-Rex where?
Right. Okay. You see, in amongst the reeds and the undergrowth, a flash of orange. That's all you see.
Orange.
Uh-oh.
And then
Wrapped up.
you see a flash of orange, and then something large and muscled leaps out of the bushes towards Andy.
I will try to intercept it with my spear. while it's since I had my spear ready while it's licking. I don't know what it is, but it's getting stabbed.
I'll be
I shall
so I'll be
enact
casting
my
Fireblade.
honor the hunt passion because it's interfering with my.
Oh, tiger.
Right, it leaps out and leaps at you. Right, so we need some initiative here, so just bear with me a second. I need to roll for
Look at
Mr.
that
Tiger.
duck.
Tiger.
31 initiative it has.
Jesus.
Because it's a tiger.
I've done honor the hunt as a passion. Does that give me a bonus towards
That gives you
my
20%, yes.
towards my initiative?
No, it doesn't give you a bonus towards your initiative. It would normally be strike rank, but it's a surprise attack. Because Andy heard something, he can defend though. Right, hold on a second. Hold on, we're all. So first up, we have the tiger. This it looks like an earlynx that you used to in Sartar, but it's bright orange and it has black stripes. It's got razor sharp teeth and fangs. It comes flying out of the bushes.
That'll make a proper good hat.
It
And
takes
the
a
duck's last words were, "It's stripy."
it takes a swipe at you, Andy,
I thought it might.
and does 14 to the right leg. You can parry because you did hear it coming.
I don't think I have a choice, really, do I? I shall have to parry. Wait a minute. There. Hang on. Sorry, small screen. Give us a minute.
No bother. You need in your laptop.
Rearranging things. I haven't got. I'll have to use me shield. Oh shit!
Okay, unfortunately.
Right. Off with me leg.
Ruwalin tries to swing his shield round, but because he's surprised, it goes short. The claw comes down, this enormous claw, goes into his leg, does 14 damage minus your armor.
Hold on, minus my armor. Can't remember. A minute.
You've got the 2 points again. I think we've done the.
Wait a bit. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Armor, leg. Yes, wait a minute. 2 points on the leg, but I've got someone else.
You can re-roll as well. Remember, you can either force him to re-roll, or you can re-roll your parry if you want, using your luck rune.
Yes, I think I shall have to, because otherwise I'm gonna get choked to bits here. Right, hang on. Where the hell's me luck rune? That's there.
That's the actual little thing that you deal out to let you re-roll.
Yeah, I click on it, don't I?
Yeah, you drag it, you click it and drag it out onto the desktop.
Right. Wait a minute. Click it. Right, well, it's not easily letting me drag anything in.
Don't worry about it. I think I can steal the card.
Aye. Yes, let it go.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Gone. So, you may re-roll your parry. At the last second, you try to slip the shield down. It's obvious that the thing's too fast for you.
Right.
You succeed, right? You manage to, at the last second, just catch it on the edge of your shield. A small shield blocks 8. It still does 14 damage, so 4 get through to your leg.
Right, 4 gets the leg.
And then take your armor off that.
So that's 2 off, and I've got that iron scale skin thing. That's another 2, so that's 4 off altogether.
That's 4 damage, yeah. So you narrowly avoid it. It cuts through your armor. You just feel the claws dig into your leg. It doesn't do enough damage, but it just draws blood and chops a couple of feathers out. But the thing is so powerful, you stagger backwards.
I'm going to chop this fucker up.
Earl tries to get in the way, so it swings around with its second claw because it gets 2 attacks and takes a swing at you, Earl.
The cheeky little whacker.
And it's not using a fire blade because I'm looking at Andy's character sheet. Right, the second claw comes in for the legs. It's obviously coming low and hits you on the left leg. Oh,
Well, I shall parry when I find the button. And I shall successfully parry with my medium shield.
yeah, that stops 12, so that stops it. The you get your shield up in the way, it tears a great gout through your shield,
Right.
and then snarls and spits at you.
I am incensed that it got in the way of my hunt, so I will stab it through the head with my spear and kill it in one.
Right, okay. Are you so first up we would have Rewalin, Crodan, Kane, McLovin. Okay, go ahead. You could go. I'll stab you on it.
That's all of the dice.
Ugh, that's an impale through the leg. You and
Nobody messes it, and I add plus 20 to that, so it'll actually make it a critical.
No, 12's not a crit.
Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I thought that was 9. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. It's that Messerschmitt dude. Bad idea.
Right, you impale it through the left rear leg.
Yeah, it's fucking porter slow.
And it stabs through. Are you leaving go of the spear,
Yep,
or are
I'm
you?
letting go.
Right, you let
letting
go of the
go,
spear. It
dancing
takes
back.
quite a chunk of damage. Right, it makes this whining noise as its leg goes limp. The spear's stuck through its haunch. Next up, we have Kane. Kane, you're the other side of this pond, but you see this mad orange tiger come leaping out.
It's like a cat thing. Apparently, they live around here.
Is that
They're like not as nasty as Yinkin cats because they don't shit in your shoes and stuff.
it's not like like in distance because it's not, there's no like square grid. Like how far away from that is it?
You can use the little ruler thing.
What's the key for that again? Or is there not a key for it?
Right, so where were you standing up here?
I was next to McLovin, yeah.
Right, so you're next to McLovin. Yeah, on the arrow bar, there is a thing that looks like a ruler with a circle.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you click on that, click on you, and then
So 10 squares. Okay.
plus you need to go around the Triceratops, which is
Oh yeah, of course.
you walk past the Triceratops, it impales you through the head.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Is there anyone who's 100% engaged in combat with it? Or have they like backed away from it at all?
Yes, Crodan and Rewalin are in combat. It hit Rewalin with such force that he's actually staggered back, even though he's parried it. And then Crodan's just stabbed it with the spear, so he's now either going to punch it to death or presumably whip out.
Right, well, I'm gonna move myself over to like say here and cast protection on myself.
Okay, yeah. Your spirit magic button is
Trying
next to the
figure out
charisma
what
limit
parts
thing.
there. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, and you McLovin, you're next.
I am going to cast my air element because I've got a cunning plan.
Okay. You will have to make a roll then on your rune.
So,
Once again, the trickster laughs at you because he just doesn't want you to have any fun. However, Kieran McLovin, you can please also give me listen rolls.
yep.
Nah.
Right. McLovin, you hear a second growl off to the right in this area here.
Right.
Over this bit where this foliage is, there's a second growl.
Yep, okay.
The cheeky buggers are hunting in a pat. Oh, look around at all of us. Okay.
Oh no, it's all gone horribly wrong. Right, so next up we have Krish. Does Krish have some missile weapons, do you think? Let's have
He
a
could
look.
throw his banjo at them.
Might snap that though.
Oh God, that's horrible when your banjo snaps.
It is when you're a skald. He's got a composite bow. He will take a shot. Actually, no, he won't, because that means he'll be shooting through past Kane and through Cronin. So he'll just move
Don't
down.
shoot through me. I'm too.
He moves to the side to try and get a better shot. So he's over there with his composite bow out. Next up is the Triceratops, which is trying to extricate itself from the mud. And magically succeeds for the third time. It starts to drag itself 1 meter in this direction.
We really
trying to
need
get out.
to kill the giant thing of death before it gets out and eats us. But obviously, the orange things of death are preventing. We need to kill everything, which means, really, it's a Crawdad. No, a cane thing. Cane, kill everything.
It's a cane, yeah, it's a cane thing, right? So it tries to get away. It doesn't see the second tiger. Bracy, it leaps out at you, but you get a second's warning because you heard it. There's a flash of orange and claws as it comes in and swipes at you with both claws.
Dodge.
I knew you were gonna dodge. One day you're gonna fumble that dodge.
And then he's going to use his magic reroll, dude.
Right,
Even though
the
that's
first one would hit you on the right leg.
Oh! Well, you had to open your mouth.
Right, McLovin dodges to the left. Unfortunately, it comes in from the right and hits in the right leg for 13 damage.
I think I'm going to have to re-roll that. Otherwise, my leg's coming off.
It's not coming off. Don't be such a wimp. It's going to take 3 times its hit points damage in one blow, man. It might be mangled and you can't walk on it.
Yeah.
You can use your luck roll. That's fine.
I'll use my luck roll.
That's what I like to see. Get him out of the way. Right,
I like it.
so the claw comes down. It looks like it's about to take your kneecap out, but you whip your leg to the side at the last second, and it just catches cloth. Unfortunately, the other claw comes in and does a slash for 15 damage on the same leg.
And I dodge again.
You can dodge again, but you're at minus 20% chance for a subsequent dodge. So you're only at, well, if you type it in where it's got mod next to your dodge, type in minus 20. Oh no, it doesn't have a mod for your dodge. Just roll your dodge, but you're at minus 20 because it's your second dodge.
Easy.
Right. You see, easy, not easy. So you do the 1-2 step backwards as you jerk your way out. You're facing this powerfully muscled earlings, but bright orange with black stripes and fangs. It drips like saliva from its teeth as it growls at you.
We really need to be killing the giant thing. We haven't got time for the little putty tap.
Right, now that it's doing a surprise attack, I will do the initiative. Oh, I only got 25. Well, was. Right, so the 2 tigers have acted. Next up, Rwalin.
I think I'm going to need me fire blade to dispatch this tiger, aren't I?
You don't have to. It is fun, though.
Chop its head off because I want the head.
Well, I shall do my best then. Right. Here we go. Watch me cock this up.
No, you've got this.
Right, you need to cast Fireblade first, so you can't attack this round with it.
I thought I did. Wait a minute.
Did you?
Wait a minute. Where's the... Oh, right. Shit.
Yeah, so it's on where it says Spirit Magic on main, next to Charisma limit, there's a little look icon there.
Where a bit? However, Springer again.
Right, when you look at the main character sheet, on the right hand side, you scroll down where it says Spirit Combat and Spirit Magic, and then it says Charisma limit, and then you hit the little room there.
Right, yes. First one.
Yep. Right, you look at your blade and it bursts into fire.
Right.
And then you try and chop it up.
Right, yes. So now do I roll to try and chop it up? Sorry.
Yes, now you can roll to try and chop it up. Look at that, man.
Oh, there we go.
Right, the tiger tries to dodge. It is going to cause itself more damage to the leg because it's currently impaled.
Did it just lop its head off?
No, because it dodged out the way. It has done an extra D6 plus 1 half damaged to itself. And it rules maximum, of course. Right, so
Has it just killed itself?
it throws itself madly to the side as this blade comes in. It then yowls. You can see that the spear's caught on the ground and it's torn the wound open even further. And it looks like it's suffering from severe blood loss.
That looks like it hurts.
That looks like it really hurts. Croden, you are up. You have no weapon though. You can draw a weapon.
Always armed.
But you can draw a weapon, but then you will act later on in the round.
Nope, I'll just disrupt it.
Nice. Right, make a casting roll, please.
Power times 5.
Well, it's actually there's a casting button.
All right.
It works, but there's an actual spirit magic button.
I've disrupted it. Now power v spirit combat, is it? Or
It's power v power on the resistance table, so just roll
percentile?
Roll percentile, yeah. And what's your power?
For fuck's sake, Richie. My power's 15, but it doesn't matter.
Right, yeah. You go. And you thrust your hand out.
I'm re-rolling that, Rich. That is unacceptable.
Right. And it shrugs it off. I'm stealing this card. Right, you overcome its power. The blood vessels burst and roll a d3.
2.
2's enough. Right, it with a loud howl, it collapses to the ground, and it is dead.
That's my new hat.
Can I have the tail?
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what you're going to do with the tail. Right.
Not just so I can walk around.
It falls to the ground dead. Your various hunter tattoos all glow warmly.
But we're just getting started.
Your beast tattoos glow warmly, as if you've slain a beast mighty enough to prove yourself a warrior.
Yeah, but that means we could go home and leave them to the Triceratops.
No, let's do the Triceratops.
Oh.
Come on, we have to do it in a big way.
Kane.
Okay, well, I need to prepare one more round before killing it, but I'm
Right,
sure
you hadn't noticed, right? But there's a howling noise as something large and orange leaps out onto McLovin from behind you, but you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to fucking deal with it.
Cheers, mate.
I'm casting Blade Sharp 4.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
someone's getting chopped up.
Successful.
Right. The edge of your sword gleams with a keen silvery glow.
I'll move up to McLovin to make it look like I am helping him to give him a bit more confidence. There you go.
Next up, you have McLovin. There's this insane man-eater tiger trying to bite your face off. What do you want to do, McLovin?
I've got my spirit. I'm only on 25%. I guess I'll have to try and stab it.
You could stab it, or you could shield bash. Or have you just got your spear and your shaky stick? You can shake a stick at it.
That, mind you, I must admit, them shaky sticks are effective.
I could try and whack it over the head like bloody what's his name in Lion King.
I've never seen that film.
Right, so you've got a spear out. Are you going to stab? Are you going to just defend? Are you going to...
I'll try and stab it.
And why not?
And... Oh!
Fumble. Oh, no.
Not my turn.
Oh, let's see what happens. Shield stab breaks, lose shield immediately. Right, you don't have a shield, so we'll re-roll that one. Armor strike breaks. Roll for hit location. Right arm. So you take a wild stab at it. There's a flash of backwards and forwards, and it claws catch you on the shield. The right arm leather armor, and it rips it free, and your leather jerkin comes apart, and you're basically unarmored on the right arm until you repair it.
Shite.
Could have been worse. You could have had no parry or dodge for 1d3 rounds, and then the tiger would have torn him to pieces, which would have been so funny. Let's face it. Right. Krish is going to take a shot with his bow at the tiger. He's like, "What the? Where did that come from?" And he misses. And it's the end of the round, so Chris will shoot again on his second shot. And misses again. Almost nailed you, Briss. You know when you're playing split the kipper with a knife? This he shoots at the tiger and it peers directly between your legs in the ground. You're like, Jesus Christ, man, watch what you're doing. Right. Let's see if the Triceratops can pull himself free this turn.
I was going to say, is he close enough the tiger to take a whack at it?
He's not taking a whack. He's trying to get out of the way, to be fair.
Trying to
Animals tend to panic when they're like confronted by fire, or when they're like almost like entangled in mud and things like that. So if he makes this check this turn, he can get free.
let's not have.
Oh,
Shite
right.
bags.
He drags himself out of the mud and runs up that way. Next, we have...
I suppose we successfully lured the tigers out with our bait.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
Just as planned.
Right, Tiger 1 will go first, but he is kaput. He is... Oh, he needs his little icon otherwise. What is the...
tiger?
Otherwise, what's the point of having icons?
Tiger.
Right,
Let's just-
he's dead on the floor. Next to go, unfortunately, is Mr. Tiger. Right, who will go for a claw and a bite on McLovin. Right, the claw comes in first and misses. And the bite, they're not very good at the bite, but it hurts a lot. Succeeds on the right leg.
Dodge.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, with immortal hand or eye, could that frame
Oh,
thy feet? Oh,
Special success. Without even breaking a sweat, McLovin dances out of the way, laughing gaily. Rowallan, you're up next, sir. Cast disruption on the tiger. Everybody disrupt the tiger for a power gain roll. Sorry, I'm not supposed to tell you that sort of thing.
They've been playing enough to know.
I'm
It's the
never going to be able to get over there.
It's ranged.
Yeah. Disruptions.
I don't think I've got it.
What?
Oh no, I think he got Fireblade instead.
It's like
Yep,
disruption,
I
more
haven't got
swordy.
it, so I'm not disrupting anything.
I could throw you at it.
You can move 4 squares and still be able to attack.
Yeah,
Or you can move 8 squares, but you can't attack. So you could potentially move up to the tiger that's attempting to ravage McLovin.
I what, and throw myself in its mouth?
Yeah, distracted by being eaten by it.
You've got plate.
Hang on. I'll go that far,
Okay.
and then if it comes anywhere near me, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you're ready to stab it. Crodan, your spear is currently still embedded in the tiger.
Good job I have a bow. I'll shoot it.
Right, you pull your bow out, but you're going to go after McLovin because
That's fine.
you need to ready your weapon.
That's not a problem.
Kian, you're up, sir.
Kind of do need to kill this fucking tiger or something. I'll move up to the tiger and hit it.
Okay. Right, Kian steps forward, all clanky plate covered in mud. The tiger is dodgy. Special success. Right, you take a swing, it easily sidesteps you. It's like lightning in a bottle. McLovin, you're up last.
I cast disruption on the tiger.
Right, make a spirit magic roll. Again, it's on the main character sheet.
Yeah, just the normal one.
Yeah, just the normal one to see if you succeed. Since you're spectacular at failing... No, not spirit combat, the next one down, spirit magic. So you're spectacularly bad at failing to cast spells.
Yep.
I like that. Okay, you fail to cast it. You feel that the trickster himself is interfering with your ability to cast spells.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Right, Krish is going to have another couple of shots with his bow. If he misses, he will hit you. Or do you want to shout, don't shoot? If he misses, he's got a chance of hitting you, should I say.
I'm going to shoot. So
Do you want to take a shot? Yeah, but you're shooting from south, whereas Krish is shooting past McLovin.
I don't mind. I'll shoot past McLovin as well.
So you moved specifically so McLovin's in the way. Like it. Do you want Krish to shoot, Gracie, or do you want to shout?
Oh,
No, don't
hell
shoot.
yeah. I'm game.
Right, he misses. And he misses again. Right, arrows come whistling either side of your ear. Going nowhere near the actual tiger itself. Next up we have the Triceratops. Triceratops has gone, F this, there's tigers and there's people shooting at us. 2, 3. And he's running up north. He's moving faster than you could normally move as a human, but not with mobility on. So he's running up north. He's like, naff this for a game of soldiers. There's tigers out here. Next up is the tiger. Yeah, what the hell? It's going to try and eat McLovin. He's going to claw at you twice, and then if it both succeeds, you can rip. And that will be bad. Right, left arm.
Dodge.
Right, you successfully move out the way of the first claw. The second claw comes in. Special success.
Oh.
You're going to 22 damage. You're going to need a special as well, I think.
Really? Even on a dodge?
I better check. I know because he's got higher one. Right, special dodge versus... Sorry, special attack. Oh no, go on, roll. Right, special attack versus normal dodge. Ooh, attack does special success damage. Yeah, you have to, because it got a special. You needed it.
Oh well.
Right. So 22 damage. You can subtract your armor though, because it's not a critical. Right. McLovin he's dancing backwards and forwards. He's a bit like a rapier fighter, and he gets too cocky. He's dancing in front of this tiger, going ha 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 ha. Twist to the left. The tiger takes a mighty swipe, hits him in the left leg. How many points you got on the left leg?
I'm just trying to find out. I've got the 2 points natural armor.
No.
And heavy leather pants plus legs. 2.
Right, so you got 4 points. So you take 4 points of that off, leaving 18 damage. How many hit points you got on the leg? It's on your little doll at the top. So if you open your character sheet at the top, you've got next to your runes. Yeah, you've got armor points and hit points. Right, so your left leg's got 5 armor points, so you take 17 damage. You've got 6 hit points in the leg. Right, you are 1 point away from having your leg torn clean out of the socket. The claws dig in. You can only lose double your hit points, so you take 12 hit points of damage in one go.
Shyster.
Right, you can't aim on that because the damage blows through. It throws you backwards like a rag doll, and literally 1 point more damage, and you'd have had your leg torn out from the hip. McLovin flies backwards, crashes to the ground. He looks bad. Blood's pouring out of him. You need to make a con ×5 roll to stay conscious. Right. Horribly, you manage to stay conscious, so you get to feel all of the pain and agony as you're eaten alive by a tiger. And you crash to the ground and your legs gone all floppy.
Good.
Next up, Rualin.
Right. Next up, Rowan. And I'm going to move in and tap the tiger.
Okay, you run in, you swing your mighty sword.
Yeah.
Success. The tiger tries to dart to the side. Because tigers are awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. It moves to the side, and you swipe past its abdomen. It dances like McLovin right before he failed his dodge roll.
I'm rather hoping the flames on the blade might pull it off a bit.
You can make an intimidate roll to see if you can scare it off.
Oh, well,
But McLovin is looking pretty damn tasty, to be fair.
I might as well. Hang on a minute. Oh.
Right, so you miss, but if you keep like waving the flame blade in its face and you're deliberately trying to drive it off, then
Yeah.
you can absolutely try and do that.
Nice.
There we go.
Right, so it recoils back, it goes, and then takes one step back, and then turns and bounds off towards the bush.
I'll shoot it in the back.
All right. In fact, Crowdan, you're up next.
I'll duck. I know.
It would be more funny if you'd said I'll human, but never mind. Right. 2 points in the abdomen. All right, you catch it in the back hindquarters, but it just cuts past its leathery skin. You see a little bit of blood, but it doesn't look like it's done any amount of damage to it.
It's all right. I'll calmly just get another arrow ready.
Yeah, remind us that you get another shot after McLovin. Right. Kane, you see McLovin collapse to the ground in a spray of blood. His leg is disjointed and hanging out at a weird angle. There's a great strips of flesh are torn off, and he's looking down at his leg in horror. And the tiger's running away because Andy scared it off with his flame blade.
Okay. So is he unconscious?
No, he's managed to stay conscious, so he's feeling all of the pain, seeing the bits of bone sticking out through his
And
wounds.
he has the healing spell. I'm aware of this, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we can get him back together. He's fine.
Cool. Is the tiger looking like it's actually gonna run away, or do you think it?
Yes,
Do I think it's gonna?
Yes,
probably get a better angle?
it's never been more scared than when being confronted with a flaming short sword wielding duck.
Okay, so just the Triceratops.
The
That's on our way back.
Triceratops is ran up. It's about 40 meters away up off the top of the map now, and it's heading away after almost being drowned, and then almost being stabbed to death, and then almost being eaten by tigers. It's like, no, I'm had another for this. You can pursue it, but like I said, it's running away at about 10 meters around.
Yeah. Can I take a swipe at the tiger as it leaves then? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, absolutely. It's
yeah.
only just over a meter away, so you can easily
Yeah.
basically take a step forward and take a swing at it.
I'll scoot that way actually to its side and take a...
Right, it will get a dodge, but it's at minus 20% because it's its second dodge. In the head as well. Oh my god. So it fails by 1. So it runs, it tries to throw itself out of the way. Kane brings his broadsword down right on the top of its head, and it collapses to the ground, and it is unconscious, I believe.
See, I got some revenge for you there, but as I look down at McLovin.
Yes, so let me see. It's not dead yet, but it's unconscious and it's bleeding heavily from its head.
He's about to get shot in the back of the head.
Okay, next, McLovin, you can do bleeding and screaming. Is
Yeah.
what you're pretty much doing on your turn. You're like going, me legs hanging off. Ah!
I'll try and cast heal.
I'm gonna love doing this. Watch your hit point bar. Watch it. Just watch it, Brissy. Just watch that hit point bar. Boom! Look at that.
Oof.
Right, so you try and cast heal, so that's a spirit magic spell. Actually, we're pretty much out of combat now, unless you're going to pursue the Triceratops, which will be 50 meters away now.
I'm tempted, but I think maybe that we successfully lured the tigers out with our look. You take what you get. That's all I'm saying. You know, as a found child hunter, I know that found child provides, and our plan was solid, and we got a couple of tigers, which will make a nice hat.
Right.
That was one hell of a bit of bait.
It was.
Yes,
That's quite brave.
I did enjoy this plan. Okay, so you finished the tiger off, presumably the unconscious one on the floor.
I'll shoot it.
You
Don't
just
you, isn't there a way to put it out of its misery, like all peacefully or whatever?
peaceful cut.
Don't you have that?
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll peaceful cut it.
I just kind of figure it's not like something.
No,
you should
that's
do.
no. You're right. That is the right thing to do, and I haven't got a tick for that.
Yeah. Also, everybody
Literally-
should first aid McLovin.
That's what I was going to do then, as soon as I get to him.
I'm gonna disrupt him first in his life. Yeah.
Remember when I did that, Rich? I had to chop someone's head off for an injuries roll. And he thought I was kidding. He should have known me better. Oh, I actually made it. I thought I was going to roll 100 and hack it to pieces with
Right, no, you perform the peaceful cut, releasing its spirit safely into the spirit world. You cut its throat painlessly, and the poor thing expires on the floor. It was just being a tiger. It was just wanting to eat Bracy. I mean,
Right.
at some point, don't we all want to eat Bracy?
Name Quinn sex tape. No, right.
Right, Bracy, you've cast Healing 2 on yourself.
Yeah.
Right, and we're just keeping track of this because
I'll put
everybody
four
runs
points
over and
in.
first aid. You're like,
I'll
no!
first aid him. Then I'll put some points into him once I know. No, I didn't successfully, so I'll just put 2 points in with me.
Right, Rowallan successfully first aided us, so you can have a tick. Kian, are you going to first aid?
Sure, why the hell not?
Oh, it's only a fairly, not a fumble.
I've actually got pretty good first aid, which is annoying. So
Right, so despite your protests and going, stop it, it hurts, why can't you just use magic spells? Everybody's running over and pulling your bones into alignment and like binding your wounds. And then they stop all of a sudden and just do it the sensible way and start casting healing spells on you. So do you
Excellent.
cast enough healing spells to bring him back to full use? Because he's not permanently maimed. Luckily, he was 1 point away. So are you going to bring him back up to full health?
Yeah, let's tack him up to full. Let's not let him,
so
die.
You'd have all used about 4 magic points each. Right. Basically, you basically over the course of the next couple of minutes, they're like, hold all your floppy bits into roughly the right place and then heal you up. Because it's not a Chalna Arroy healing spell, it does scar. So you've got an impressive, like, gnarly, mangled leg scar where this tiger's like literally ripped you from the inside of your thigh all the way down to your ankle.
You look proper manly.
Maposa comes over with a big smile on his face, and he says, "Well, that was quite the show. That's not exactly what I was expecting."
What, you mean that we lured the tigers out of hiding using the Triceratops and then killed them in a cunning trap?
He says, "Of course, my friends, of course."
I would say you should have seen the one that got away, but you saw the one that got away. It was massive, and it had 3 horns.
Yes.
Found Child provides, and he provided us with tigers, whatever these.
What do you think they're like big ear lynxes, basically?
Yeah, big soft cats, not like the big horrible ones we've got at home.
Yeah.
The ones we've got at home, shit in your shoes. They annoy the crap out of you. They wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning. These things just try to eat you. I'd rather
that
be
sounds
eaten.
more like you than the cat.
That's true. Right, we'll need some pool.
Yes. So you,
Quite big.
yeah, you're going to cut some poles down and tie both the tigers.
Yep, and we're going to hump the tigers back to the where the pikemen are.
Right, you do that without much difficulty. You find some stout trees, cut them down. McLovin's got an axe, so you're laughing there. You tie the tigers to the poles and you hump them back to the warriors, who look kind of disappointed that they didn't get to stab anything with their enormous pikes.
If you want, I can go and get your Triceratops.
It's like,
I'll wait until they all stop laughing, because obviously that's a really good joke. And then I'll look at the Agimori that's with us, who's probably standing there nodding as if to say, "Don't."
Yes, it was really a Triceratops. And then they say, "But this is your great hunt. This is not ours. We want to welcome you as tribal warriors." And they come over and they clap you on the back and take you back to the village.
Hey, we have all done with the hunted. I'm getting a hat.
You've done the hunted, right? You go back to the tribe. It's declared that you're not dead for a start. Everybody's massively impressed with McLovin's new scars and the fact that all of his armor's in tatters all down one leg and the other arm's hanging off. And basically, Chaco comes out and he brings out and he presents you with your Imporo, which is a double-breasted beaded shoulder strap, which is given to the warriors when they've taken part in the Great Hunt. And each of you receives one of those.
Cool.
It doesn't have any armor value or anything. It's just a ceremonial thing to say
I'm
that
wearing it and I'm never taking it off.
you're a proper warrior now. You're like one of the lads. So then they'll butcher the tigers properly for you, and what you want a tiger head hat. Is that correct?
Yeah, and a tiger head cloak, obviously.
Right. Well, you've got 2 tigers, so you're going to have it with the paws on and everything. You know, like
Yeah, I'm going the full I am. I'm going to have it skinned and wear its whole skin. But I want it so its bottom jaw falls down over my... So it looks like I'm looking out of its mouth.
Right. Okay.
Because that's saying...
I just want a tail and a couple of canine teeth, if that's all right.
Oh, knock yourself out.
I want one of its claws for a necklace.
Yep.
That's probably the one that nearly took my leg off.
Yeah, you can do that. There's the skin and the hide of another tiger. Basically, they cut the hearts out of the tigers with peaceful cuts, and then obviously give you the hearts to bite, so that you get the strength and the ferocity of the beast.
Yep.
No sauce, no cooking, nothing. Just there you go. Nosh on that.
To be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that I was bringing it back for them, I would have already done it. It's why fucking dog hangs around with his fresh heart.
Is everybody okay with noshing on fresh heart, blood running down your chin?
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
I want to watch the duck try to bite through a heart.
Ducks have teeth. It's official.
Oh, yeah.
They have teeth because they can hold cigars in them. There's a picture.
Then it's all legal.
And, well, there was a vampire duck that had false fangs. But that's another story anyway.
Quick little break.
Okay, mate, no bother. Right. So, what are you going to do with the other tiger skin?
Well, we should present it to. Presenting it to the chief here is a bit of a waste. So
Well, you've already
Duke Rouse
presented him
a god's hide.
a hide as an incredibly treasured gift.
Well, I will gift some of its teeth to the guide, the Agimori that came with us, and I will make jewellery with the rest of the spare teeth, so that we can all use as Agimori gifts to the Agimori that we've made friends with. And then I think the other hide we'll give to Duke Rouse for...
Right, well, unless somebody else wants to wear it, I mean, you never know.
I know.
Ryan might want a pair of tiger skin undercrackers.
Aye, undercrackers.
Fine. I just want eventually to have dark black armor with death runes covering every inch of my body, and that's about it.
Oh, I think we'll sort that out.
Except for
I
your
don't
beast
need-
rune tramp stamp.
I can put a death rune over that.
No, you can't. You put it round it. You incorporate it. Get a
Sure.
sleeve.
You want to go the full Hugh Matley goth.
Oh yeah, he's all in.
He's covered in death runes. He's wearing black armor. He listens to sad music. He tells everybody how awful his life is. He's got the big platform plate boots.
Oh god, that's an image.
Minus the sadness and the plate platform boot.
No,
He's quite
that's
happy.
canon now. You have to have Hugh
No, he's
Matley
quite
plate
happy
platform
because
boot.
every time he kills something, he gets happy. He's Mr. Murder.
I've got to be honest. I thought you were going to look at this, and then Andy was going to remember and just go sever spirit.
Yeah, I had a vision of getting the
I didn't-
Triceratops and him sever spirit. And
I did not want to remind him because I thought, I wonder if he remembers.
I remembered, but I thought it wasn't very hunty, so I didn't say anything because I didn't want to prompt him. But that would have been genuinely funny.
It would have been good. Also, if he'd actually done the finger guns at the same time, pew pew, sever spirit, and it falls over dead.
Turn around there, Agimori. Done. What's next?
Right, McLovin's back. So, McLovin, Earl's having all this made. Andy wants a tail and some canines. Are you going to wear the tail like, a raccoon hat?
No, he's going to wear it on a butt plug.
So, do you
Attach
have
it to an egg. and
do you
stick
have
the
a
egg
plan for this tail, Andy?
I'm working on it.
Right, okay. So, do you have, McLovin, do you want any of this tiger, the second tiger?
I think it's the claw.
The claw, yeah.
Just a
claws.
claw for a necklace.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Right, okay. So there's this lots of celebration. You receive your Imporo, and Then Ulwazi says, as we agreed, now that you are officially hunters, I will come down with just my bodyguards to the fort, and we will find out where all of this disease and nastiness is coming from.
Awesome. We'll escort him there.
He's escorted by Maposa, who is coming with you, who's your little Mara now. And he's also escorted by Scooby-Doo, the brew friend. Scooby-Brew. Because basically, while he's off being on the spirit realm, he'll need somebody to guard his body. So he has an honor guard that goes with him. You're not 100% sure how this shaman thing works. He is protected spiritually somehow, but he's also, because he's such an important member of the tribe, has some crazy ass big Agimori dudes.
He's an Agimori. He'll just look at spirits and they'll run away.
Right, so you proceed back to Fort House. You don't manage to run into anything.
No, you mean anything
Else.
that's any sensible is staying about 100 miles away from the annoyed Agimori.
Yes. And as you walk to the gates of the fort, you see two of your companions that you've known for quite some time standing guard duty. They're standing, they're resting up against the gate. They look as if they're barely standing on their feet. They're running, sweat's running down their face. And as you walk up, you hear one of them say to them, "It was my best bronze dagger. I don't know where it's gone. It was there 1 minute. It was gone, totally gone the next." And then he goes, "Oh, it's you. All right, Crawdon, mate. All right, McLovin. All right there, Llewellyn.
All right, lads, how's it going?"
Give him a nod.
He says, "Oh, it's bad." He says, "His missus died last night."
Oh, no.
He says, "There's one of the White Sisters has come from Horngate. They've come especially over, and they're busy treating people, but it was too late for her. Everybody's come down sick now. Even Dane." He says, we've got that crazy old witch that's turned up in the tent place as well, and she seems to be not up to much help."
Crazy old witch.
Yeah, crazy old witch. She's pulled up in the camps over there, and he points over, the tents at the fort. She's got one of the tents over there.
It's not like the first place to check. Like,
I will just drag you.
Just racking my mind. But we got any bullers in the camp?
Got any what?
Bullers. Stone bulls.
You have that Agimori Stonebuller
He'll do.
who was
Right.
travelling with you. Obviously, they recognise the three Agimori. The shaman who. Let me just.
I'll turn round at the shaman and say, "It's bad." Duke
He says, "I
Rose's wife's dead.
can smell it from here. There's something." He says the whole place, it smells like death. I wonder if I can show you. Right, can you see that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There is Ulwazi,
Awesome.
and here is
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. A Kirby Brew Stalker.
I thought you were just gonna post a picture of Scooby.
Maybe for next time. He's a full-on size 22 Stormbuller. Doesn't use an axe, uses the spear, and he also uses the Agimori pike, but then everybody uses an Agimori pike.
Yeah. Can you use Agimori pike? Yes. Then I'm using an Agimori pike.
Who's with you? So this tent over here, right in the corner, is one where apparently the crazy old witch turned up while
Right,
you're away.
Scooby, just a second.
He says,
Crazy old.
"And Kubi, please."
Sorry, and Kubi, can we just? I've heard tell that Stormbull is so strong that it can smell chaos. Is that true?
This is true.
Can you go and take a sniff of that tent over there?
The guard says, "You'll have to go with him, Croran. You can't
Oh, I
let
am.
a big
Yeah.
a big
we're going with him. Don't you
like
worry.
he's
We're
like
going.
he's Arnold Schwarzenegger type physique, you know, like rippling muscles upon rippling muscles."
I was about
Mighty
to say,
Thousand.
what are you lot going to do? What are the guards going to do? Drop down dead of exhaustion if he farts? But I better not.
Well, pretty much the whole place smells of decay and death. A few people have died. So are you going into the compound first to see this crazy old witch?
Yeah, I'm going to go see the crazy old witch first because that's
Yeah.
set off my Scooby senses. I mean my spider sense.
Right. So you head over to the tent. Outside, it's just a normal looking tent, but been strung up strings with beads, dried insects, frogs, bat wings, that kind of stuff outside.
Two quick things before we get close enough. I'm casting Second Sight, Detect Spirit, and Detect Enemies.
Right. There's no enemies. There are a whole root of spirits. You have to stop looking because it's like a Second Sight, the Detect Spirit.
Yeah.
It's so blinding with all of the disease spirits about you have to turn it off. And
Are the disease spirits near this tent, or are they avoiding it?
they're everywhere.
Even the tent.
Yeah, they're just drifting about. Honestly, it's an absolute apocalypse around this area. You put your head into the tent. Scooby, even I'm going to do it now. Even I'm going to be calling him Scooby Doo.
A Kubi.
A Kubi says, "Let me have a look." He says,
Do not do Orion.
"There's not chaos here, but it's strange." So you approach the tent. You pull the thing to one side, kneeling down. Well, sitting cross-legged down on the floor with the head down. It's an old lady with long grey tresses. Woven into her hair is bits of gem and things like that, and you can see her pushing as you open the tent. She pushes a dagger underneath a pile of furs that's next to her.
Is it copper?
It's bronze, yeah, it's a bronze
Oh,
dagger. She looks up, and Croden, you start, and she says, "Hello, grandson."
Oh God, not you! What the hell are you doing here?
He says, "What, you're not going to give your old nan a cuddle? I've come to see you."
I'll give Nana Driggs a big. It's all right, guys. We're relatively safe.
She was going, "I had to get out of sight. It's bloody insanity. Callie's running around with loads of young warriors with their dicks hanging out. She's inciting them to fight." She says,
She's gonna get them all killed because
it's-
she's an idiot.
"It's no place for an old lady." So I thought I'll go and visit my favourite grandson.
Uh-huh. You didn't get in trouble again then? You're not
I may have been falsely accused once or twice of things that I did not do.
things you didn't do, like borrowing things again. Like when you borrowed that guy's stick
Now
and he
that's
turned out to be a law speaker.
not fair because I just
You did say you
find
would give it
things.
back.
It's
Yeah.
my hero gift is to find things that are lost.
You found the guard's dagger.
Yes, I did.
He
It
wants
was
it
lost,
back.
and I have to look after them. It's my sacred duty to look after them until
That
such
is
time
true.
as it's to give them back.
Oh, but see, you introduce your great grandson.
What?
Yeah, it's a long story. Look, can you stay here while I go and see the gap? Please,
She says,
please, don't catch any diseases and don't cause any trouble.
She says, I'll make you a pot of Nan's special rat soup.
Oh, proper. Excellent. Oh, I'll give her a big
Croydon's like, I got a head. Yummy.
I'll give her a big kiss. Sloppy grandmas are the best kiss. And like sort of, I've got a shit-eating grin all over my face.
The same as the one I'm giving to you right now.
Yeah, I will pick the. I will pick up the necklace that she's pickpocketed out of my pocket off the floor and go back to what's the juice.
She's like, oh, yeah.
That fell out. Yeah, I know.
You
Yeah,
dropped your necklace, Croydon. Right, so after that short family reunion, you go back through the main gates, and your mate goes, did you see that crazy old witch? Is she doing it?
Nope, that's my grandmother.
He goes, oh, she's a lovely old lady.
No, she's a crazy old witch. That's fine. I'll hand him his dagger back.
Oh, you found it. Where did you get that from?
It was just lying around.
Oh, jeez, Croydon, you're a real pal.
Oh, you have no idea. Right, I'll go and see the gaffer.
Right, so you go into the fort. You call into the audience chamber in the main stone part of the castle. Dane.
Don't say looks like death because he always.
Dane has obviously caught something, but he's been stoic about it. There's just a bead of sweat like breaks out and rolls down one side of his
mean
face.
he's actually actively at war with the disease at the moment?
Yes. He's got a bit of sweat in his little hollow cheek, but he doesn't. He just won't give in any poxy disease.
How is he?
He says he's bad. He says he wants to speak to you. Obviously, he says, "Great chieftain," and Ulwazi says, "I'm no chieftain." Says,
no,
he says, I work for a living. And they all go,
He's not a chieftain, he actually works. He doesn't just sit around on his arse.
He says, please take a seat. We'll have wine brought to you. We'll have food, anything you want. And he says, very well. My little brothers here, they bring me down. They tell me you need help bad. He says, I can tell already that this is pretty bad. So
somehow we're going to get roped into fixing this evening.
They're given some wine, and you are shown in.
You do know that giving one of these wine is like giving Ribena to an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, but they have to be nice. Right,
I'll
the
give him some wine.
audience chamber's been draped in black cloth for mourning.
What's happening?
The Duke looks drawn, and he also looks fevered. He says, thank you for bringing the shaman down. One of the white ladies has come, and she's busy treating everybody as much as we can. But please rest overnight, and we'll speak in the morning.
I'm sorry for your loss, but we can speak now. I think time is probably of the essence.
He says, we need more information. I assume that your shaman friend, what was his name?
Ulgazi.
Ulwazi. He says he can talk to the spirits and hopefully we'll get some more information.
His medicine is very strong.
He says, right,
we have made fast allies with the Agimori in our absence. Now is not the time to present you with gifts, but just know that if we could have been any faster, we would.
He said, it's not your fault. My wife was taken ill some time ago. We didn't think it was as serious as it was. It just came on rather quickly. towards the end, it came on very quickly. She's hung on long enough to see Jezra return. Thanks to you, and she passed.
My lord, Dane's there as well.
Yes.
Could this be the fallout from an attack upon you? All of these things that happen seem to be directed to break your spirit.
He said it is possible. It's well known that I am out of favour and I have many enemies in the capital.
Your people aren't likely to act in this way, though, are they?
It would be unusual, yes.
We stand ready to do anything that needs to be done.
He says, get some rest, get some food, rest up. You're more or less the only healthy people in the whole place. We've had about half a dozen of our people died, but the village up at the Wise Cut has suffered much worse losses.
Why?
He says that's what we're hoping to find out. So please rest up, and we'll find out in the morning. Because
Dane, do you run the gate?
Dane's in charge of gate guard and patrols, things like that. He's basically the military leader of the place.
Before this outbreak happened, have you thought of which visitors came to the keep?
He says we've just had travelling merchants.
Yeah, but did any of them pass through that other place that's been suffering worse than it?
He says not as far as I'm aware. I will look into it if possible, but I don't think there's anyone left in the camp that may have travelled through it.
Well, they don't need to be. They just need to have brought the disease spirits with them.
That's true.
We'll be staying not in the barracks, but in my grandmother's tent.
Your grandmother?
Yes, my grandmother's here.
Oh, where is she? Yeah.
She's the crazy old witch that's down by the river.
Right, he cracks just like one side of his mouth, just cracks into a smirk, and he goes, "Do you know what? That figures."
Yeah, it does. Whatever you do, don't ever ask her about her husband. Ever.
He says, "I'll bear that in mind."
You are not long lived enough to hear it all.
He says,
and
"I'll
I
bear
still
that in
haven't
mind."
actually found out what his name is. It's changed 6 times.
He says, "I'll bear that in mind." He says, "Get some rest. You've had a long day, and thank you for everything."
Right, I'm heading off to Ganny's. Anyone coming down for a pint?
Yeah.
Some rat stew.
Right,
Some
so
real food, real sort-of food.
you
not
go
like this
back
other
out.
shit.
Otherwise, he says, "I need to walk the realm of the spirits, so I'll need somewhere that I can meditate."
I'll turn around to Dane and say, "Is there a place where he can meditate safely here?"
He says, "Yes, we'll assign him a room in the stone tower so that he's safe." And he says to the other two Agimori, "Yeah, I personally guarantee his safety. You don't need to stay with him." And they just look at them, like look down at them.
I'll turn around to
And
Dane
says-
and go. I'll turn around and say, "He does not mean that." Turn around to Dane and like shake my head. He just adds himself to your guarding.
Scooby-Doo grunts, goes, "Okay then." He says, "This wine is very weak. Do you have anything stronger?" Maposa sort of gives you a sideways look as if to say, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
And then
The dick waving contest has started.
they're shown off into a room with a comfortable bed and some sheets, and you basically go out and go and get some good old-fashioned starter stew with you now.
I'm going to take the ban. Ganny, this is Alan. Alan, this is Nana Diggs.
Bizarrely, Alan seems to be in perfect health, completely untouched by disease.
Of course he is. Is any of his little friends that he plays with completely untouched by any chance?
Some of them, Bobbin as well, seems free of
Perfectly
any
fine because he
disease
hangs around with Alan
all the time. Yeah,
Aha.
yeah,
What?
figured that.
I'll turn round to Oh God Almighty, I'm so bad with the names. I'll turn round to Quack Tavish and say, "Watch how my nana reacts. Just watch." Right, I'll take him into the hut and say, "Alan, this is your grandmother. Your great grandmother, Nana Driggs. This is little Alan."
She's like, looks up and down and goes, "Well, Crawdan, I thought you might have been able to carry some fish good
just like-
protection."
He looks just like me granddad. Now, doesn't he? Look at that in his nose.
He looks at it, she peers at him, she like pinches his cheek and then like lifts his lip up and looks at his teeth and just like, he does look like one of them, yes.
What do you mean, one of them?
Sorry, never mind. I'm an old woman, I misspoke.
This is Bourbon. He's our friend.
You'll
And
give away.
he's never had real Sartar cooking.
She's got this big pot on the fire. It's thick and goopy and like occasional skulls will float to the top.
I'll pick a bit of the tail out because that's the best bit.
Tail's their best bit. Right, Earl eats this rat tail like spaghetti.
I'll also show him the tattoo on him, Alan.
She says, so you're a proper great dog. She goes, there's something weird about him, you know.
Oh, yes. He's my son.
She says, you stop with your nana, Alan. I'll look after you.
Yeah, Nana will teach you all about our people.
She says, I'm good at that.
Oh, you are the best at that. How's Uncle Grob?
He's still knocking around with that young lass that's half his age.
Well, yeah, could be worse, I suppose. We'll all settle down. I'll make sure there's plenty of room for people to sleep here. I'll turn around to Nana and say, these are all my friends, and they really like the stuff that...
She says, I don't know what you're implying. I just
I'm implying
find
that
lost
you've got
stuff.
You've got a problem. Well, yes, but if you find any of their lost stuff, can you give it back to them so they know it was lost and that you found it? I'm sure they'll be very grateful.
She says, of course I will. That's all I do. I find things.
I'll notice that she's sitting next to the pillow that seems to be 3 inches off the ground. That's always next to her. That's always 3 inches off the ground with stuff she's found.
Yes, stuff she's found.
Yeah.
Right, so you basically spend the night. Does anybody else want to do anything, say anything, or you're all pretty beat now after chasing through the swamps? You just have a wash down and catch some shut eyes.
Repair my armor.
Well, you're probably not very good at repairing armor, but there will be an armourer you can take it to and say, I need all this sewn up. You get that dropped off. You spend a pleasant night.
I'll relax for the first time since we got here because I know that if there's anywhere in Sartar anywhere in Prax that's completely safe, it's with Nana.
It's with Nan.
Yeah, because everyone in Sartar is scared shitless of this one.
Right, you summoned early the next morning. Dane sends a run of fire, and the Duke wants to speak to you. And when you get to the central tower, the Duke is there with his 2 bodyguards who are still standing to attention, but you can see that nobody's well at the moment. Alwaz is there, as is Maposa and Scooby-Doo. And
I've broken that in PC for you now, haven't I, Rick?
yeah, he says,
Why does the gods call me Scooby?
The Honourable Ulwazi here, he spent the entire night walking the spirit realm and investigating, and he says that he's informed me that, and he unrolls a map of the local area. He says, this is the Villanor River. He says, the spirits are coming downriver.
Villanor.
Yeah. It goes up through the Villanor Valley. And
Villanor.
Villanor. Villanor.
From
It
the
says that-
evil...
Yeah. The Villanor River comes out from the Villanor Valley and winds past the village of Weiss and then down to the fort. He says, Owazi here says that all of the spirits of disease are coming from the river.
The river.
Yeah, they're coming down the river. He says, and that the source of all the plagues is the source of the river coming out of the rock.
Does this river flow into the big river?
Yes.
Oh God, that's bad. Isn't that big river got a really bad reputation for being a particularly vengeful river? And as rivers go, they're quite dangerous.
Yes. He says, right, also, apparently Ulwazi had walked the full length of the river all the way to the head on the spirit realm. And he says he'd seen that the caves at the head of the river where the source is, he'd saw some brew. He says there are some very powerful spirits in that cave, but that's where all of the disease is coming from. He says, I understand that you may not want to face brew.
I'll turn around and look.
horrors.
When he says that, I will literally look at him like, you don't know anyone from where we live. Are you the first people from Sartar you've ever met?
He says,
Because as soon as he says brew, every bloke in the room's hand will have touched the weapon.
you can say the stumbler whose name is literally Brewstalker, and Kubi Brewstalker. He's snarling. He says the river's deep enough to take. The Newlands can row you up river by boat to the caves. You go past the village of Weiss if you need to call in and check on them. We've heard nothing. Normally the Dane keeps in contact with the headman, but we've heard nothing from them. And Dane will provide what you need for this job. And then he sort of like slumps as if he's lost some strength, and he sits down. And Dane looks concerned at him, and he says to you, "Look, all right, come outside and we'll take this briefing." And you all go outside with Dane, including the three Agimori. Dane says, right, these packets, we've got 5 packets from the Chalna Oroi healer who's come from Horngate to help us. 2 of the packets contain a herbal remedy for the shakes, 2 combat creeping chills, and the last one treats brain fever. This is the only antidotes we can spare for them. And then he picks up a bundle and he hands you them. He goes, if you kill any brew, use these linen gloves and blankets to stack the bodies into a pyre and burn them, and then stay upwind from the smoke.
I need AFK for like 1 minute, Rich.
Okay. He says, since you're going up past the village of Weiss to the headwaters, apparently half the people at least have died there, but somebody's probably still alive in case you need information or if you need to check up on anybody. He says he says Tarnak, my friend, who you met earlier about the tower when you may have needed a climbing specialist. He says apparently he's still alive, but I've heard nothing from him.
Okay.
So that's how it is.
Right. How quickly can the Newlands get their boat and stuff ready to take us up?
So we can have it ready later in the day. You can arrive any time of day that you feel appropriate.
I think probably early in the morning's probably going to be best. But
Ulwazi says me and my band will come north with you and stay outside. I will walk the spirit realm and protect you from the worst of the disease spirits inside. But when walking the spirit realm, I have to leave my body so that Maposa and Kirby will have to guard my body outside.
Okay.
And that's where we'll leave it for the night.